Hi everybody, I'm Phil Thompson and welcome to this mini lesson video on the 2013-14 South Carolina Senior All-State Band Required Etude for Flute. I'll start off with a brief description of how I played the piece, maybe give you some ideas for your playing of it, and followed by a performance of the piece itself. If you haven't seen it already, I suggest you start with my intro video to All-State Band Auditions, which is available at the top of the drop-down menu instructional videos at my website, www.woodwindperformance.com. All of these are available on YouTube as well. So anyway, I hope this will be of some benefit to you, and best of luck with this year's audition. Carl Gaylord wrote his 30 Caprices for Flute a little over 100 years ago, and he wrote them for a flute-playing friend, meaning for the pieces to be more difficult, more challenging, and I think more difficult to hear as you play them than a lot of etudes written before them. This music is what I call unpredictable, and that's how I've always approached it as I play it or as I've taught it with students over the years. By unpredictable, I mean the music is tonal, it will have a key center, usually will have a key signature, but his choice of notes will often be very chromatic. You will see a lot of accidentals, making the music more challenging to hear and play. You will also notice in all of his etudes the music has larger intervals, also making it more challenging to play. My dear friend and saxophone teacher at North Texas, James Riggs, used to call this angular music, and it just makes you think more and pay more attention as you play. Again, the music is unpredictable. As I play this in a minute, you will notice where I chose to breathe. Now, I recorded this piece 5 or 6 times, and it took me a few minutes to decide which selection I was going to put on YouTube. Each time I recorded it, my breaths weren't exactly in the same place. Heck, you could listen to 5 different flutists play this exercise number 3, and all 5 of us may breathe in some slightly different places. However, think about your phrasing. There are a lot of choices, but make the piece musical and really pay attention to how you put the notes together within the phrase. The judges will notice that. As you go through this piece, again, these are my breath markings. This piece is very challenging from a physical standpoint, so choose wisely how you phrase. All of the eighth notes, I think, are long. This piece is almost like some kind of trumpet fanfare to me, and I think for the most part it's loud, and it should progress forward in a fanfare-ish sort of way. The eighth notes are long, make them all about the same length. And let's see, as you go through here, be careful of the accidentals, like I said. The mordants right here in the 3rd line. The way I played these, for each mordant, I played the main note, in this case F on the downbeat, with 1 trill note, the G, and I simply played 2 little grace notes before the downbeat. That's how each of these come out. No repeat, of course, of the first section. As you progress down here, I hold back just a little bit here slightly to get a really good breath. Make sure that these notes don't rush, but that the 32nd notes are right on the downbeats. As you come into these trills, be careful. This is still 4/4 time, and I've heard a lot of students, all of a sudden they're in cut time here. Count carefully. Do not breathe in between each one, but do make a space. You don't want to breathe each time. The judges will notice that, so phrase accordingly. You can make your choices, but definitely get a big breath here because you've got a long way to go. On these trills, I simply played, in the case of downbeat here, E flat to F twice for a total of 4 notes. That's about all the time you have to get these trills in. And then, of course, very angular music. Take heed of the retard and use it to your benefit to help you get through here cleanly. Again, angular music. These etudes are great material to study on an ongoing basis. They get progressively more difficult as you go through all 30 of them. They make for great sight reading material if you're up to the challenge. Also, you might take note, there are 25 etudes for saxophone that Carl Gaylord wrote that I have played on flute over the years. You might have to leave off some low B flats or maybe even B naturals if you don't have a low B foot joint. But again, they're very challenging and they do work for flute. and they help with working on advanced sight reading skills, which is something we'll talk about in later YouTube videos. Anyway, these are some ideas on a very challenging piece. It's a lot of fun to play. There's a lot of flexibility. Be musical. Choose your breaths wisely so that you don't fatigue and you can get through this, and I think you'll do very well. Best of luck on this year's All-State Senior Audition.